black cars. Black cars. Black cars. Is there no hope?
Hope? Of course there's hope. I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for hope. Hope I'm going to win this race today.
There's always hope. Look at this. The sun is coming out at Pocono, so you know there's hope.
A 100,000 people ready to pack their way into Pocono International Raceway for another afternoon of Winston Cup stock car racing. A beautiful day for racing. Great to have you with us on TBS Sports. Welcome to our exclusive live coverage of the Miller Genuine Draft 500. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Rick Benjamin of the FTP Pit Communications Center. 42 drivers have all sorts of hope this afternoon because Pocono is a place that really helps you roll the dice as a driver. It deals different hands to different drivers from different times when we come here to run. These drivers were just here a few weeks ago. Many of them have found they needed new combinations to excel here this afternoon. Lots of stories to bring you here today on TBS, and it's great to have you with us. One of the drivers whose roll of the dice came up perfectly so far, standing by with our Dick Berggren on pit road.
And Jeff Bodine isn't just on the pole in the last practice yesterday afternoon. He was a half a second faster than those fearsome black cars. But how about it? How about the end of the race? Can you still be up front?
Well, we're going to try to be. That's what's important. It doesn't matter how fast you qualify or how fast you run in practice, how fast you run that last lap of the race. The car, we have confidence in the car, the tires, the whole setup. So we're looking for a good race. Got to say hi to Kathy, Matt, and Barry back home. I love you guys.
Working pit road with me today is Randy Pemberton. Randy?
Thank you, Dick Berggren. I'm on the outside of row one. This is where Ward Burton sits. This is a guy that could use some luck. In his last 7 starts, his best finish is 31st after running well in some of these races. Ward, can you turn your luck around today, stay up front all day, possibly even win this thing?
Man, I'd like to think so. The hardest car, my team did a good job for me qualifying Friday. We had to change the car quite a bit yesterday because we were blistering right rear tires, so it's going to be kind of iffy to see how we are, but we'll keep on working with it, and hopefully we can have some luck and the cars stay together and stay out of wrecks and be there at the end of the race.
Okay, good luck, Ward. And somebody that's had a little bit better luck than Ward so far this year is standing by with Dick Berggren.
Bernie Irvin, you're starting 5th. You ought to have a big smile, but you've had some problems with the car.
Yeah, the car hadn't really drove as good as we'd like, and we're hoping we got her dialed in. Larry's done a lot of work on it, and I have all the faith in the world in him. I want to say hi to Kim and Jordan, and especially to a real good friend of ours at Texaco that got injured, Ken Schaefer. We're looking for you, Ken, once you get back here.
2 more members of our broadcast team we want you to meet today. One you're familiar with, one you're not familiar with in this role. We'll show you him in just a moment, but you might have seen this fellow's latest and greatest hit last night.
Heavy damage on the right front corner of that car, and it is leaking fluid. I've seen Kenny take his helmet
Kenny
off.
Wallace wound up in the wall last night. Kenny?
Well, thank you, guys. You know, one thing we're going to report on here, you know, historically, Pocono is a gas mileage racetrack. What we're going to be paying attention to are people like Dale Jarrett, Kenny Schrader, Darrell Waltrip, and Harry Gant. You got to watch for these guys.
All right, Kenny Wallace, and standing by with us today in the STP Pit Communications Center, a guy we're more used to seeing behind the wheel, but it's good to have Chuck Bound here.
Thank you, Greg. Pleasure to be here.
Now, a few weeks ago, you ran in this race, and this track bit you. That's why you're here today with an injured foot, injured hand. This track has changed a lot.
It really has. This is 5 weeks later. It's hotter. They've run 3 preliminary races already. It's going to be slick. And the slick track experts, Dale Earnhardt, Randy's with him.
Well, Dale Earnhardt's going to start 20th today, and the question is going to be to you, Dale. What has changed from 5 weeks ago with your race car and this racetrack here?
Well, a lot of luck and consistency, hopefully. We ended up second here in the spring race, so, you know, we're racing real hard for those points, and we're starting 20th, which we're not a good qualifier here at Pocono for some reason, but we feel like our chances are good after practice. We feel like we can run with most of the cars. You know, the tire situation is going to be interesting to see what happens there at the first of the race, but I feel like we can beat the cars I'm racing and see what happens.
Okay, Dick Berggren's over with Rusty Wallace.
And he won the last race here at Pocono, and he won it in his car. But, Rusty, you're not on the pole today. Could you do it?
Well, I hope so. I think we've got a really good car. It's the same car I had here last time. Nothing's been changed. The weather's pretty close. It's just the Hoosier tires. They got a real sticky tire for qualifying. and they've out-qualified us, but this tire, this Goodyears, are really racing well, so I got a feeling those things are going to tear up. We'll see what happens.
Okay, now let's go to championship crew chief Barry Dotson and the voice of big-time stock car racing, Ken Squire.
Well, thank you very much, and it's a great pleasure to have one of the best boss wrenches in the game. He's had cars win here with Tim Richmond and Cale Yarborough and Richard Petty over the years, Barry Dotson alongside. Barry, usually you come here and you talk about fuel. Back here in 90, we saw Jeff Bodine win on fuel. Darrell did it in 92, and Harry Gant came right along with him. But that's not the issue here today. We got a real old-fashioned tire war.
We got a real old-fashioned tire war. We got a couple of races going on. We're just past the midway point, the race for the Winston Cup title. And talk about a tire war, it's really heated up here. The Hoosiers are blazing hot, and they're blazing fast.
Yes, indeed. They have the front two rows all locked up, the Burton brothers, Sachs, and, of course, Jeff Bodine up there on the point. As we get ready to go, 11 cars on Hoosier tires. They've all qualified well. And meanwhile, those Goodyear guys, you're saying that it's a little like the tortoise and the hare kind of story here today.
Could be the tortoise and the hare. We're just going to have to wait and see how it falls.
And we know who the tortoise is, and the hare for sure are those Hoosier cars. Let's get the command to get this one going.